Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to read your tarot cards here today. Ooh, I just saw 10 of Cups sticking out. I hope it comes out. Guys, these are general messages on YouTube, no less. So do keep in mind, not everything I say will resonate with every single Virgo out there. Highly advise you come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind and take away only what speaks to you, what resonates with you, motivates you, empowers you, inspires you. That really is my goal here with these tarot readings. And if there's anything that doesn't resonate, push it aside. Assume it's going out to someone else who needs to hear it. And always check back next week. Something may resonate for you at a later date, or an entirely new message may resonate for you, okay? Let's see. Great strength. All right. So the Nine of Wands is the first thing that's coming out, and I actually like that it's called Great Strength. It says to me you've been enduring a lot lately, and something is about to break in a positive way. I want to be clear. You've what word am I hearing? You have displayed a lot of strength. There's a word. I think you guys know what I'm getting at. You've exuded. Is that it? You've exuded a lot of strength. You've displayed a lot of strength of character, and there were times that you wanted to give up, but you didn't. You kept showing up. You were very determined, and you're about to be rewarded for that. Tell me more. And just to wrap up my spiel, you guys are accountable and responsible for all decisions and actions that you take, right? You know that. All right, here we go. Let's keep going on that message. I'm intrigued by this. So what's coming in then? Ooh, yeah, you are. The Empress. There's a good offer coming your way. It may have to do with a promotion at your work. Possibly something gifted to you by your mother. It could just be having a very... I know for some of you this may seem like small potatoes, but it's going to be very significant and profound for some of you. You're going to have a really big heart-to-heart with your mother. And it might be someone who you have a great relationship with or someone who you don't, the exact opposite. There's going to be, for those who this resonates and, fits into their life, there could be a very profound message where your mother expresses a lot of appreciation and respect and admiration for how you handled yourself in a certain in a certain situation or a difficult period in life. And I'm getting the idea of there's a release of tears from one or both of you, and it's very cathartic, but it's this beautiful exchange of energy between you guys. It could also be a divine feminine figure in your life. I don't know. Yes, it could be an aunt or a grandmother. It could also be, in metaphor, something to do with a spirit guide who's sort of helping you usher in this new cycle. And in a sense, they're just acknowledging, I know it hasn't been easy. Like, I'm almost getting, the idea of someone just giving you a big hug and almost, rubbing your back the way you would when, a child is just crying and, they can't quite get it together. In metaphor, I think that's been you. It's something about the last year or the last several years has been tremendously difficult. And, the final release of that is being able to let the emotion out, because through that release, there's healing that comes. It's a much needed sense of being able to breathe again I think it has to do with opening up about these things and not having to feel ashamed of them or having to hide them or, the idea of needing to hide your faults or your baggage or your imperfection. There's something about you're around someone, and it could even be a best friend, but someone who does really good things for your emotional health. They allow you to just unload a little bit, and this is a huge step in the process of your awakening. And also your healing, but you have something coming into you. So for some of you, yes, it's absolutely healing. For any of my Virgos involved in specifically music or something more entertainment related, there could be a job offer or booking some gig that has a really nice benefit attached to it. So I don't know if it's networking with a group of musicians that you're going to work for over and over again. And I know that's very specific. Obviously, that's not for all of you, but there's something about, I'm hearing things like the gift of music, the gift of song. Something about that might make sense. Maybe that's a confirmation of who this person is. Was somebody in your family an artist or a singer or a rock and roller, something like that? Let's see. What once seemed impossible or unachievable, it's actually manifesting in your life. But you had to aim higher. You had to reach higher. You had to assess what was around you. And in a sense, step into the mindset, become comfortable with the idea that you've outgrown the shell. It was time to shed the snakeskin and step into the person you were always meant to become. But it didn't happen without a little bit of trepidation, turbulence, some uncomfortable energy. Cocoon to the butterfly. It's a little bit awkward when you're first learning to use those wings, but things are going to take off. Things are going to start to soar now. And even when I said sore, something about the wounds have healed over. It's like your scars have healed over. And that, again, metaphors, but for some of you that might be literal too. It does seem like you're definitely coming off of a heavy energy, but I do like this. Dreams, visions, they're going to start to be manifested in ways that they never have before. Because I think you're seeing things from a new perspective. You've had to pick yourself up from the lowest of lows, so really there's nowhere else to go but up. And a lot of you, yeah, literally the cocoon one, cocoon to the butterfly. I think you are becoming, again, comfortable or familiar with the idea that you don't have all the answers figured out, and that in itself is the correct answer. That moving forward, you don't have to have every detail worked out. It's about putting faith and trust in yourself as well as the universe. I always say take a few steps forward and the universe will match it. Whatever you're intrigued or curious about, if you see potential in it, especially in terms of it being a good way to nourish and nurture yourself, there's something about seeing potential in something that is fulfilling. It does good things for your heart, for your happiness, for your joy. You're going to start to take huge strides forward, especially with your career. And there's parts of it that this is all what you make it out to be. It could be an uncomfortable experience, but it doesn't have to be, because that's how you used to handle it in the other chapter of your life, the old version of you. Instead of looking at this as, oh no, this is a new scenario, I'm fearful and I need to panic. It's quite the opposite. It's like, this is a whole new territory. Like, I've never been here before, and how exciting, how amazing it is. I just keep getting this idea of you're about to spread your wings. You're about to fly. There's this new empowerment as well as freedom. And for some of you, and I don't predict this on my channel, for those who are unfamiliar, I don't predict things that are super heavy in terms of like losing a loved one. But if that was your scenario, if you have been grieving the loss of a loved one for quite some time, obviously you're always going to carry them in your heart, but I see the clouds parting where sun starts to come through, and there's a sense of relief of that. You absolutely went through a long mourning period, but that's not going to be the story for the rest of your life. There's going to be more reasons to celebrate your times together and look back and reminisce fondly and do as much, laughing and smiling as you have been, grieving, that kind of thing. There's something about, if that's the case, especially if this was a feminine in your life, a female, there's something about they're your spirit guide, and they're not wanting you to hit rock bottom and just stay there. It's almost like if some of you were able to justify this loss, justify you staying in a darker place because you lost something tremendous in your life. And again, I'm not coming down on you because the healing process is very personal, but whoever is looking out for you in terms of like the divine source, spirit, God, universe, angel gang, whatever you believe in, they're like, I want you to do good for me. I want you to do good in honor of me and my memory. Like, I want you to live your best life because my opportunity here in the 3D is now ceased, right? So all the more reason for you to pick up and like crush it. There really is a newfound empowerment. And I understand this message may come off as a little bit weighted, but I want you to understand this is like the clouds parting where the sun starts to shine through and you feel physically different. It really does. I hate to call it a spiritual awakening because I think that term scares a lot of people off. Like, you're going to start having, visions and seeing ghosts. And it's not that. It's like this newfound perspective on life. Your new, what is that? Your new lease on life, your new lot on life. You're more determined ever to go after something because of an experienced loss in your life. Ultimately, you come away from that experience with new knowledge, with new lessons, especially regarding this period of introspection. You've learned a lot about yourself and your capacity to heal, and also to empathize and sympathize with others dealing with similar plight, or yet you're going out there to like almost make a difference in the world based on what you found out during hermit mode, or what you found out going, to the darkest of dark places in yourself. You transform it, from dark to light, caterpillar to the butterfly. This is very hopeful. For some of you, there's a Pisces who's been waiting on collaborating with you. Now, that could be romantic. That could also be something in a job. Is that your opposite the zodiac wheel? I think it is. Yeah, Pisces and Virgo. So this could be a really good counterpart for you. Maybe like a divine counterpart. But you weren't able to accept any offers, again, romantic or financial, at the time that this first came in, because you weren't in a place where you loved yourself enough, or you just physically weren't capable of taking on new energy or new responsibilities, and that's fine. You didn't miss out on this. Everything has happened the way it was meant to transpire. But you're starting to see the forest from the trees now. You're starting to have a newfound perspective on what went down, and rather than being tormented by it or beating yourself up or asking a lot of why me questions, you're using that as motivation to, again, just to get out there and crush it even more. Yeah, there's some opportunity, especially with a Pisces, or again, something very artistic or music related. Tell me a little bit more about this opportunity. And within this opportunity, there's a lot more options and opportunity to follow, or based on this one opportunity that kind of comes in. But here's the thing, you've earned it. This is not you just Netflixing and chill and all of a sudden you get the call, right? You've been working at this for a while, but you had to declutter your everything, your space, your mind, your body, your spirit. Something comes in, and I apologize, this is not specific, but there's something about this opportunity has a lot of different options or roads you can take from the initial, sign on the dotted line. It's almost like, like Queen of Pentacles. This is big. It has a lot of value to it, and by knocking down this one door and being welcomed in, there's like 7 more doors to choose from. And I want to be clear, it's not overwhelming. It's not like, oh my God, I made one choice and now I have to make 7 more. It's in metaphor. It's like by going down this one path and being really determined to get yourself to that point, it shows the universe how much you love and respect yourself, and they're throwing more opportunities at you because you can handle them now. And again, I just really want to stress, this is not opportunities that's going to stress you out. I mean, it could. It's what you make of it. But again, rather than looking at these as, oh, well, what if I fail? Am I capable? You know you're not going to fail. Because in a sense, I think you already feel like you have failed tremendously. And again, I would offer that's the false perspective, but this is not about failure. This is about stepping up and taking on almost what is due to you, because you've had to face that side of yourself that was very, negative or pessimistic or just hurt, feeling victimized, feeling heartbroken, feeling sad. You've worked through that, and you're being rewarded on the other end for picking yourself back up and motivating yourself, being self-sufficient, being self-reliant. I also think there's something very important here about a collaboration that is long overdue, that takes a little bit of stress off your plate, whether it's delegating things at work or whatever. I also think it has to do with mutual respect, admiration, adoration, I'm hearing. So it could be romantic by nature, where you finally get that gift of a soulmate or whatever you want to call it, where there's a tremendous amount of respect and love for each other. Nobody leaves the other one floundering, but you also have been to the darkest of dark places. So when you come into this, it's going to take a lot more than a breakup to shake you now. There's this warrior courage, fierce ferocity, I'm hearing. Maybe it's a lion. I don't know, a Leo maybe. I didn't mean to say lion, I meant Leo. It's like you are unshakable. So this relationship comes in and you're meeting someone who's they've learned the lessons that you have, and so you're on the same page, and there's a huge chance for compatibility and success, especially in something business related. You have great money cards, Virgo. You'll be happy to know that. But there's no reason why this couldn't be romantic. A lot of feminine energy here, but it certainly doesn't have to be that. Definitely a lot of masculine energy in this card too. Damn, bam, chicka, bam, wow. I'm just kidding. Neptune, dreamy, creative, artistic, that sort of thing. Also something possibly involved in, I don't know if spirituality is the word I was looking for. Almost like medical, something in the medical or healing. That was the word. Something involved in more of a healing profession, especially something with auditory work or, healing through sound. I'm hearing all these little things that I'm not exactly sure what to do with them. So I'm hearing beeping and vibration. It's reminding me of when you're in grade school and they do hearing tests and you put the little thing on and you have to, this side. I don't know if that's like a confirmation for one or two of you. I know it's very specific, but it's like hearing, it's like hearing confirmations in your own head. There's a positive, I think it has to do with an energetic vibration that the two of you share. You read each other's vibe very well, and there's just something about the collaboration could be very powerful, very dynamic, very unstoppable. A lot of earth energy here, especially Taurus and Capricorn. So you being a Virgo, right? No reason why there couldn't be another Virgo involved, but I have a lot of earth and I have a lot of Pisces, specifically Pisces. You may have even had a dream about this person, and for some of you, it may have been someone you haven't spoken to in ages. You had a dream, or this person like reached out, almost out of the blue, maybe on LinkedIn about a job opportunity, like to recruit you or something. And I'm almost getting a female that you went to college with. For some of you, and again, they may be trying to bring you on board or see that you have skills and talents that they could use, and you guys may end up networking for each other. Even if, I think this is important too, even if this isn't like a forever collaboration, once you establish a sense of trust, you guys, again, the vibe you get off of each other is so exhilarating that you guys come back to work with each other over and over again. Even if you are in slightly different fields, there's something about kind of like the you scratch my back, I scratch your type thing. And I mean, again, it could be romantic, especially my same-sex couples who are female. But more than anything, it's just like there's a compatibility where they're like a good yin to your yang. As I said, something about opposite of the zodiac sign. What you lack, they can offer you that perspective, and vice versa. And it doesn't come from needing someone to correct you and tell you that you're wrong or how to do it. There's just like there's this trust of, oh, let me show you, like this worked out really well for me, and I see you don't have that in your current business. So, but there's reciprocity there. I really like this. Some of you are going to have a truce again with a family member, particularly a sister. If there's bad blood with a sister or a sister-in-law or even like a female cousin, there's something about strength in teamwork among females in the coming weeks for you. Anyway, I'm getting all these hits and I'm not sure they're all related, but I'm hoping this is speaking to some of you. Let's do one more message, and I want to do this deck again. Let's try and tap into some new messages for Virgo. Some of you may be working with animals. There may be some connection to animals with what you're about to do. You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope. This feels like someone who's desperately in love. Your other half, your counterpart, the world. You guys are coming together. You both had to graduate from a difficult chapter in life. And I understand that, like, for me, even calling it difficult, I don't mean to negate what you went through, because it absolutely was. It wasn't fun, but it's made you the person that you are today. And I'm almost getting that the universe is... I know this can be touchy, so pardon me if I'm not delivering it in great eloquence, but the universe had a choice. I can let Virgo stay exactly where they are and let them struggle, or I can help usher in this change that isn't necessarily going to be comfortable for them, but I have faith that they're going to make it through, and once they get to the other side, the light at the end of the tunnel, they're going to be so freaking happy that they did the internal work, because this is going to be life-changing for them. This is going to free them from karmic burdens, ancestral burdens, whatever it was, burdens that you're carrying around because someone broke your heart, a breakup that happened 8 years ago, you're still beating yourself up about it. The universe basically said no more. Like, Virgo doesn't need to suffer. They've paid their dues. They understand, but they're not implementing the lessons. So the tower moment is not here, but I'm sensing you guys already went through that. You had no choice but to pick yourself back up. And when you do, it's almost like, again, a new lease on life. A whole new world of opportunities is handed to you. It's not too good to be true, because you've done the work. You've gone to those dark places and worked through those traumas that you never thought you could work through. Those traumas were triggering. In fact, maybe thinking about them now, it still gives you a little bit of, am I ready to hear this? I think it's crucial for you to hear this, because if you're still doing the work, it lets you know you have not been forgotten. There is gold on the other side of this rainbow, but you have to get there yourself. No one is going to get there for you. They can help you. They can give you words of encouragement and love, but you have to do the work. So until you come to that moment of, okay, I'm here, let's work through it, let's do it, you're still kind of going to be lost in whatever this confusion or chaos was. Most of you, I think you've already done the work, and this is the reward that comes through. And you were always meant to, too. Like, I hate to sound like it's a transactional, like, well, if Virgo does this, I'll give them that. No, like, this was always meant to be yours, but the timeline at which you arrived to it was always up to you. You're a person of many hats. You have quite I'm hearing a collection of experiences. You've had to play different roles in your life. And it's made you all the wiser, even though you didn't want to play that role at the time. You essentially had no choice. And so again, rather than faulting yourself through it, be thankful that you had to play out that role, because now you have a greater understanding for people who are in similar situations. You're free. You get to fly now. You're soaring above the rest. I'm totally repeating something I heard. I don't want to take credit for it because I heard it on another tarot channel, and it just really spoke to me. It felt very profound, so I'm going to share it with you. I heard it on one of my favorite tarot readers. Shout out to Queen Cup Tarot. She's had her channel much longer than I have, but if you guys don't follow her, she's a tremendous reader. I really do endorse her, and I'm very much in alignment with her messages. They are about empowerment, but they are tough love readings. They do not coddle to the, oh, you're okay. And like, that's what I love about tarot. Like, it's not that I like to be harsh or beat people up, but I think there's enough things that sort of enable us to sink into those, sad places, but they don't help us get out. And that's why I like to use tarot, to be like, I see that shit got real, but like, let's do something with this hurt, this sorrow, this pain, whatever. Anyway, getting back to Queen Cup Tarot, do check her out. I highly advise. You guys probably already do anyway. She's much bigger than I am. But anyway, she said something like, when you're going through the spiritual journey or a spiritual awakening, she related it to something about the birds. And she said, when you look at sort of more the tinier birds that fly closer to the earth, their wings are very much like almost in spasm or panic, because they're still sort of adjusting and, figuring out, like there's almost like a nervous pulse to them. And that in metaphor is sort of like when you're kind of being introduced to the spiritual journey and changing things about yourself. It's a little bit tipsy. It's not always comfortable. And there is sort of that like manic, like, oh my God, am I doing it right? Like, am I going to fail? If I leap, am I going to fly? Right. And this is a metaphor, guys, right? Please understand that. But then she's saying, if you compare it to sort of the birds that fly much higher up, the falcons, the I don't know, all the bigger birds, right? They soar, they glide among the air. And she was saying, in essence, they're using nature to help support them. And again, in metaphor, like having faith that you will be carried as long as you have a sense of direction about yourself. And again, like that energy that you could subscribe to, oh my God, I'm a nervous little bird flying from the nest for the first time, versus like, I'm soaring, baby. Like, I'm not flapping my wings as much. There's like a sense of faith, and there's like a profound connection to divinity, to wisdom of the divine. It's so funny. There's literally like a little bug flying around my lamp right now. That was eerie. But it's something like you will grow into your wings, but you do have wings, so you may as well start using them. And I guess I mention that because this does feel like a new chapter in your spirituality. I know I started this reading saying I don't want to scare anybody off with the term spiritual awakening, but I can't describe it any other way, because that's what this feels like. So I guess I mentioned that whole metaphor of the birds. Birds have a lot to do with spirituality and angels, right? Angels with wings and angel guides, spirit guides. It is going to be a little bit uncomfortable because you've never lived out this chapter of your life before, but have faith, in time it will get easier, and like you'll get the rhythm of your wings. Do you understand what I mean? There's some metaphor there, and I hope that really does speak to you. A lot of literature and reading more about that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain it, because some of you have already just bought a book on that thing, and literally, Virgo, it could be anything, but that thing that you're wanting to explore more of in this new chapter of your life, whether it's a skill, a hobby, a how-to book, a self-help book, something on yoga or exercise or divinity, spiritual, whatever that is, read a book about it, and know that over time the knowledge will sink in, and you'll be able to implement that in your work and in your spiritual path forward. I love that. I'm going to leave you with that, Virgo. This was a heavy one, but it actually felt profound, and I want you guys to know you have amazing cards. Really good cards, but do you even see how there's sort of a darker tint to these cards? So it's saying, this didn't just magically happen. This isn't Cinderella story, rags to riches, the prince comes and saves you. No, you had to save yourself. You had to earn it, but it's all that much more rewarding because you had to do it yourself. You have yourself to thank, so give yourself a pat on the back, Virgo. All right, y'all, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like the video. That really does help me, guys. Share, subscribe, check out Queen Cup Tarot if you haven't already. She's a really, truly great reader. I really endorse her. I love her readings. Other than that, thanks for joining me, Virgo. I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot. Bye.